especially in their division.
Yeah,
and
that's the way we are every year. It's always we get out the big hopes because we have a good offense, we got a new pitcher, and we're going to do good, and then all of a sudden,
so we'll wait and see.
Get crapped on.
To move across the river to the Twins, though, they just got a couple of people back. Morneau's back now. Joe Nathan, our closer from last year who had to have Tommy John surgery, he's back now, and he's throwing again. He pitched 2 strikeouts. We're really hoping that those two guys can make a big difference. We struggled with closers last year, or Minnesota struggled with closers last year, and with Morneau back, that should make really a huge difference to possibly go for a World Series win. You know, Joe Mauer, he's struggling right now with his knees a little bit, his joints, being a catcher, so I think they might end up moving him somewhere else on the field, which is a possibility, but I don't think that should be much of a problem. The guy's probably the most athletic guy in the MLB and possibly all sports combined.
Yeah, if you're not going to take Albert Pujols, Joe Mauer would be right up at the top. Yeah, I like their young guys. I like Denard Span and Young, and Kadire is always that wild guy that's always going to be in there doing well. And their starting pitching is good. You know, they just signed Liriano to a new deal and to avoid arbitration with him. Let's see what they got. They got Nathan the bullpen. They got Pavano was basically their ace. They got Slowey and Baker.
Last year, Baker struggled a lot with his conditioning and kind of being able to go a couple extra innings.
Yeah, that's true.
And this year, they've really made an emphasis on that in the offseason. He's already pitching a lot better this year.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. You need stamina as a pitcher. Coming from experience, you gotta have the will and you got to have the conditioning. You got to be able to go out there. It's kind of like Giovanni Aguero. You get him for 6 innings and that's it. You know, you got to just push through it. And hopefully the Twins, and the Brewers, hopefully they can get it done. That'd be a heck of a World Series. All right, we're gonna give a little bit of a prediction go around here, and we're gonna start with the NL. I'll take the first reins. First team I look at, Philadelphia Phillies. Their starting pitching is
unbelievable.
A rotation that is absolutely unheard of. I mean, you can't. I don't know how you can get any better. You got Roy Halladay, then you go Cliff Lee, Roy Oswalt, Cole Hamels, and then lucky Joe Blanton would probably be the 5th starter. him or Jamie Moyer, and then you got Ryan Howard, you got Chase Utley. That's their main offense. And the other team I'm going to go with is the Brew Crew. You bet. Their awesome offense and their bats are going to be out again, and Greinke and Giovanni and Markham, and they're going to take it home. And Randy Wolf and then Narveson, they're going to get it done. Hopefully they can compete.
I agree with the Phillies. I'm looking at the Braves, too, in the NL, possibly. They're always right there. Hoping the Brewers, but we'll see. So.
What do you like, Braden?
I definitely pick the Phillies, and I pick the contenders to be the Brewers. I really think they're going to step it up this year.
Nice.
So, but to move on to the American League, the first team I want to look. They look at the Rangers who won the American League last year. I don't think that they can repeat again. I know Josh Hamilton is amazing, but they don't have Cliff Lee during that area, and I don't think they can do it. The Yankees, they're the best team, but they just always seem to suck. Nobody really likes them. So my 2 picks for the American League have got to be, if the Twins can keep Morneau healthy and keep Mauer healthy, I'm going to pick them to win the American League. Otherwise, I would pick the Red Sox.
You bet.
Yeah, I would definitely. My pick is the Red Sox, without a doubt. You always got the Yankees in there, like you said. I mean, they seem to have obviously high expectations because of who they are, but they just seem to not be able to get it done. I got the Red Sox definitely in the AL, without a doubt.
Oh yeah, with the addition to with Crawford and Gonzalez, and they're like the Phillies, their starting 5 for their rotation is sick too. For the World Series, well, it's going to come down to the Brewers and the Bo Sox, with, of course, the Milwaukee Brewers taking home the ring because Wisconsin sports have been dominant this year, and like Aaron Rodgers did, the Brewers are going to strap up that championship belt. What do you guys
Wouldn't
think?
that be awesome if the Brewers won it the same year?
If only the Badgers could have beat TCU. What a year.
That would be a great year. I got Phillies and the Red Sox. Kind of seems like maybe a lot of people are picking them, but two very, very good teams, so that's who I got.
I picked the Phillies, and I got to go with the Twins here. The Red Sox are tough, but I think I'm going to go with the Twins to take it over the Phillies in the World Series just because I love them.
And those are all good teams.
They're all great teams. I mean, anything can really happen in baseball there.
Can't go wrong.
Beginning of the season.
That is true. All right. That's it with baseball. We're going to come back with some headline stories, but we're going to catch a commercial by the UWL PSA group.
Fact: University of Wisconsin La Crosse is ranked the #2 college in the Midwest.
UW La Crosse is ranked number 34 for out-of-state students among public universities nationwide.
UW La Crosse is ranked as one of the most military-friendly schools in the nation.
UW La Crosse is number 24 among medium colleges and universities for Peace Corps volunteers.
We are going to talk about some headlines here. And first up, we're going to bring up Brandon Davies, who, a lot of people have obviously heard about his whole ordeal. Recently, he had sex with his girlfriend, and which violated the honor code at BYU. And so he is suspended for the remainder of the season, and which is a huge hit on BYU because they were having the biggest year they've ever had.
He was their leading rebounder. He was their second in scoring, and then of course, the day or the game after he gets suspended, they get trounced by New Mexico at home. Jimmer, I would like to say he could do it all by himself, but you can't be telling me that Jimmer hasn't, violated the honor code. What woman won't want Jimmer? I want Jimmer for crying out loud. So I don't know. I think it's really sketchy.
I think it's extremely sketchy. The athletic director backed the whole decision, but the fact that the guy can't drink a cup of coffee.
I know, it seems weird. The honor code is very one of the strictest in the country out of anyone's. But I can understand. It's the honor code, and you go there knowing what that entails.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's things that
let them live.
People do. It just seems. I want to know how they found out. Do you go around talking about that stuff to your players, and then it gets leaked, or?
He probably made a video.
I don't know. It's a very interesting story.
What celebrity hasn't these days, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll move on to the NFL then, and we'll talk about the whole dispute going on with that. They're on the day 13 of the mediation. The union and the players are trying to figure out a deal so we at least have an NFL season next year.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine going a whole year without watching an NFL football game. For crying out loud, the Green Bay Packers, I want to see them. I want to see them repeat,
Yeah.
And what person around Wisconsin that loves the Packers or a Packer fan, who wouldn't want to see that? And the drafting, think how crappy that would be for not get your first round picks or your first overall, and maybe have to do a lottery in 2 years.
According to some sources, the union was just minutes away from pulling the trigger and just saying screw you guys, you don't get a season. But hopefully with this extension, that means both sides must have liked something in the deal, and that hopefully they can they've made a really hard date to figure this out, a hard deadline. To figure out 5:30 around Friday is what they said, and that they're not going to extend it again. And they're just hoping they come to a deal.
Right. There's definitely a little more hope, I guess, than there was in the beginning with this extension.
That's for sure.
We'll see. Moving on, the Miami Heat are losing still, and they're having some problems in their locker room. There was reports and their coach talking about after the game, players crying in the locker room. I don't know about that. What do you guys think?
Chris Bosh, you need to grow up. You're the third man in the little duo, and you're the one bawling. Are you kidding me? What a little baby. I'm not a fan of the Heat. I'm a fan of Dwayne Wade, and that's about it.
I'm a fan of Dwayne Wade.
I'm a Kobe guy, so LeBron's sorry about that. I really don't think they gotta turn something around, and I think it's the coach. Pat Riley, you need to step down from the executive part of part of the Miami Heat, and you need to come coach the team and make them winners again because, my God, that team is stacked.
They're just struggling to win big games. I mean, they're losing to teams that it's important to. They've lost 4 straight, including the 30-point loss to the Spurs.
There are good teams they've lost to, but yeah, I know what you mean.
A lot of star power, but they can't seem to bring it together enough.
And you're going to be facing some good teams in the playoffs, so you can't use that as an excuse.
Braden, you're a wrestler. The NCAA Division III National Wrestling is coming to Lacrosse Center. What do they got about that?
That's actually, it's coming to the Lacrosse Center for the first time. I think it's the first time the national tournament's been held in Wisconsin. UWL has 8 qualifiers, 5 returning All-Americans, 3 of which are previous national champions. The top 3 teams kind of going into it are looking to be us, Wartburg, who's ranked number 1. They beat us, by 1 point a couple months earlier in the season. Hopefully that we can get a good shot at it, and we're going to need some support. We got it in our hometown. In the last 17 years, no team besides Augsburg or Wartburg has won the D3 national title. And
UWL, they got some guys in there that
Yes.
can do some
Yep.
thunder. You bet.
Should be fun to watch.
I hope so. Boogity, 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 let's go racing. Jeff Gordon. We're going to get a little NASCAR news in here. His first win in 66 races, and that came at Phoenix Raceway. My buddy Seth Tormone over there at 1707 Market, he was telling me that Jeff Gordon is the active leader with the most races won on all the active drivers. Props to the Chevy car. That's NASCAR. I don't know too much about it. I'm starting to get into it a little bit. All my friends are into it, so it's unsung, but it's got the largest American fan base out of all the sports.
The interesting thing about it was that the fact that the track that he ended his streak on, because previously that same track, Ryan Newman broke a 77 winless streak race. Carl Edwards broke a 70 race skid, and then Mark Martin broke his 97 race on that same exact track, and those had all happened in the past couple of years.
Definitely the place to get off the schneid.
Yeah, don't know much about NASCAR or Jeff Gordon, but good for him, I guess. All right, moving on to our rants. I was having a little trouble thinking about what to rant about. There's quite a bit going on, March Madness, spring training, stuff in the NBA with the Heat and things like that, but none of that really keeps my interest. I want to talk a little bit more about the negotiations that are happening between the NFL and the NFLPA. We touched on that a little bit ago. They have until Friday now, of course, by 11:59 to reach a new agreement. They've been meeting quite often. They're trying to meet every day this week, but there are still serious differences between the two sides on how to divide the almost $9 billion in total revenue that the NFL is bringing in. That's a lot of money. But even though there's a little more hope for everyone, diehard NFL fans with that extension, hopefully they'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Can't have no football.
My rant, I'm going to go back to the national tournament this week, and it's huge. We need a fan base. Right now, it's the biggest crowd to ever attend a D3 national tournament. Wisconsin, no college in Wisconsin has ever won a wrestling national title. We go and rank second. We've placed either second or third for the past 6 years. So we're really hoping that this year, if we get our fan, we got it in our town, it's our city. We're really hoping with our fan base there, we can have some people behind us and get us to this national title right now. The finals are on Saturday at 6 p.m. I really hope anybody listening to this can show up. It would be really amazing if we could win a national title for Wisconsin and do something that no other college in Wisconsin has done. And I think we got a good chance to do it, and we just got to wrestle well, and we need people there for us to support us.
That's true.
We got every advantage to win this thing for us.
It's awesome. Yeah, hopefully they can get her done. My rant is going to be about the expansion of television broadcasts of the March Madness tournament. Turner, I love your break room on TBS and your TNT dramas, but I don't know if you're cut out for basketball. I'm sorry. True TV, I don't even know what that station is, and they're carrying the first round of games. ESPN, you should have done a little bit of a better job coughing up a little dough and getting those tournament games, because Dick Vitale should probably have a little bit of a say in one of the games for the March Madness. I think most people agree. I mean, he might be annoying at some points in time, but the guy is all basketball. He's good for the sport. Him and Gus Johnson should probably do the national championship game because, he's the best. And I just love Gus and Dickie. So.
Yeah. All right, well, that's all the time we have for sports talk live today. Thanks for joining us. Join us again next time.
Later.